Oh, hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. We're back at it again with another epic and educational day of chess. Today we are facing Jesus himself, a 2000 question mark, and his other ratings are quite low. He's played 250 games, so that's a fair bit of games. We're playing C6 because that's what we play every gosh darn time. We're going to just go for this. And you know what? We're going to close the pawn pyramid and already on move whatever. I'm not 1000% versed with this opening, but I'm confident that it's going to work out. And I think the longer you play chess, the more openings just make sense. And so like I don't know if I've had this exact position. I believe actually I have. Normally this pawn has done something, but we're going to just go for this pawn break. It makes a lot of sense to me. If he takes, I develop the bishop. If he doesn't take, I have the natural developing square for my knight. And so he has this check, which I can defend like this. It's a little bit sketchy, but it will. Wait a minute. I defend with the queen. What am I talking about? I defend this. I threaten the queen. Oh, dear Lord. He's trying to get fancy. I think I can shut the door on the queen first, because this check is really what seems to be the risky business in the situation. So I can shut the door on this queen and then capture back at will. And so I think we are going to just go ahead and do that. My natural knight for the natural developing square. So we're going to do this. Could he sacrifice the knight for activity? I don't know. Things could get a little bit complicated. And this is about the point of the game where we start the rigmarole and we see who's the better chess player. Because we've got no more opening theory. I'm booked out, completely booked out. And so is our opponent. Because look at this pawn attacking his queen. He doesn't know what to do. He's frizzly frazzled. Does he step back or does he try and get fancy with it? That would be the only option. Okay, now, I like the idea of taking with the rook, because I'm not going to castle that way. We've got a completely equal position. Completely equal. I have the only bishop on the board, so kudos to me for making that happen. And I'm going to promptly do something with it on my next move, essentially. So this kind of just walks directly into a pawn hitting me in the face. And my other options don't make a whole lot of sense. I don't need to put it here because I'm never going to get pinned. So we put it on the more active square. The only reason I would ever put it here is to break a pin from another dark square bishop. But I'm the only one with a dark square bishop. So watch this game unfold. And this... I traded off. Just kidding. This dark square bishop is going to come in clutch. And when I say clutch, I mean it in the most... I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm going to clutch out this bishop. Okay, stepping back seems like a little bit of a beta move. This pawn move greatly weakened his king, but this kind of has two purposes. I want my queen to assist in this side because he can quite quickly bring his forces, not like this, the knight could come here. He can quite quickly bring his forces to this side of the board, which I just don't love. And pawn advancements over here, like what am I chasing, bro? There's nothing over here. The king's on this side, so that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So this weird little stepping back move, if he takes, I get to take. So we are going to play this stepping back move. And if he locks it in, I'm going to kick him out because this pawn is not going to be weak on an open file. In many lines, pushing this pawn is difficult to do because this is the open file. And yes, I see. So I push this pawn. He will either take my knight or he will step back to here and get in the way of this knight. Those are his options. Take or retreat. And which one's better? Hard to say. I think I actually like retreating. I somewhat favor that move. And we're in the thick of it. We're in the thick of it, boys. And my one female viewer that... I'm not even going to kid myself. Like 1% of my viewership is female, by the way. If there's a girl watching this, go ahead and send me your Instagram or whatever. But in the case, I get like 100 views a video. 1% of that is females of my entire time making videos. So the probability of a female watching this video, it's just us, boys. It's just us, and we're just moving horses and bishops around the board. I like the idea of this. Immediately apply pressure to this pawn. What I am scared of is this. So hold on a gosh darn second. Luckily, all these pawns are on light squares, so my dark square bishop is the best bishop on the board by far. So what should I do? What should I do? Scoot over with the queen. I feel like an attack is kind of brewing. This side of the board is like frozen. So you know what? Does this move make any sense? What am I even trying to accomplish here? I want to share something with you guys. I only drink water, for one. Coffee and water. This is my... Look, I put a little ledger sticker on here. This is my water bottle. But it doesn't hold that much water. So every day I run out of water. I'm like, drink, run out of water. I bring it to the gym. I fill it up. I come home and I'm out of water. Always out of water. Are you ready to see something? Your boy is never going to run out of water. Look at the size difference. Look at the size difference of this thing. This is you, and this is the guy you're worried about. All right? That thing is a gallon of water in a metal casing. Okay. He's got the double-barreled bazooka. Rook's looking at my position. Bro, what if I just take a little cheeky step forward? You gonna break? I definitely destabilized my pawn structure. I don't really, I'm just like not enamored with the idea of this double bazooka looking at my queen. It seems to be a little bit of a peculiar situation for my queen, because do I step into this or do I step aside and step one step further away from this potential onslaught with these pawns pushing down the board? And once this guy slides over, the knight's coming, and then this is coming, and then I'm going to take, and then the knight could jump in. Oof. Knights are good in closed structures. Bishops suck in closed structures. And this would be a closed-ish structure. What if I just push, bro? How many pawns are you really going to push? We go here. If he pushes, we take. If he takes, I push. If he pushes, I push. If he takes, I take. If he slides over, that's all I'm going to calculate. That's all I'm going to calculate. Now I have a place to kind of hide my queen behind the pawns instead of getting a little pawn jammed in my face. Got a little place to hide. Yeah, we need some... I need to make some pawn trades is what I need to do. So, like, is all of this a terrible idea? We lock it down. We lock it down. No questions asked. I don't have to take that. We lock it down. This pawn push comes in, we take it for free. We locked it down on the light squares. One more pawn push, and I have my entire position. So he's going for this. But you know what? I think I'm in time to step forward. If this file opens up, this move might be a tad bit unnecessary. And I've got a couple holes in my position for this knight. So if the knight jumps in right here, I'm just going to kill it. We're going to step forward. This is what we need to be worried about. I've got a couple holes on the dark squares because I have so many pawns on the light squares. See how that works? So when a pawn is on a light square, it also attacks the light squares. When a pawn is on a dark square, it attacks the dark squares. And so it looks like he's going for this. And if he takes, I'm going to push here. And if he pushes here and he takes, these guys see each other. If he pushes, and that's already there. So if I go boom, boom, and he hits me with a check, yes, I have to do something with my king like this. And it's really, really slow. Like I push, you know what? Did that just happen? If I lose the game now, we get to blame it on that. I made a mouse slip. We blame the mouse slip. Does it even change anything? The position is still more or less the same. Obviously, I meant to go here to address the file opening with my super uber duper defended rook. And this rook is doing a great job defending this pawn. Unfortunately, I don't think anything is ever going to be attacking this pawn. So this rook needs to get a new job, such as boom, or like trading here and then being the rook over here once this one dies. Okay. That's a little bit spooky. I'm still quite content with my calculation here. Boom. So queen here. Potentially we have ideas of harassing this side of the board. I don't think I'm scared because we've got this absolute locked position. So I want to actually trade my bishop for this knight unless we're going to be entering an endgame. I'm just going to slide over here. I'm not even going to think about it. He wants to go for this. I'm going to put my rook here. If he pushes this, I don't need to take. Don't need to take. I can just chill. Go up here. Okay, so he wants to go for it immediately. So we're doing this. If he pushes forward, then this pawn becomes a huge liability. He has sandwiched me. Absolutely, not even a sandwich. He has turned me into a panini. But take, take. Take, 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 take. Check. Here. Check. Here. Hold your gosh darn horses. I think I blundered. Boom. 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 Yeah, there's this check. I step over. He slides in. I defend. We lock it down on this side of the board, just doing absolutely nothing. Oh boy, I'm a little bit scared. What do I play here? Do I bring my other rook over here? Really kind of hoping he plays this. I might just move my rook here, because in some lines my queen might be hanging. So here, here, here. Boom, 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 boom. Check. I step over here so that this isn't a check. I slide over. If he takes, I take. And then we begin. So I am kind of just wasting a move here. But I think the key of this is once all of this happens and the queen slides over. So boom, boom. Please let my calculation skills be somewhat decent. I can, for two, I can just block. And then we hop into an endgame. I think my bishop sucks in this endgame. So we step over. He comes in. I come in. I'll probably take, but at least I took one step closer. We step here. He comes in. I come over. Going for this. I would prefer that if all of this happens, my king is here on g7 instead of h7. Is my logic here. So if I just slid over and he took, my king would be over here. And then I would have to play another move to be here. And it looks like we're going to have ourselves an absolute endgame. Complete endgame battle. Where, yeah, so he slides in. I have to play this. Not a whole lot of other options. Jesus is just absolutely displaying terrific chess skills. I don't know if there was any moment in this game where I was actually winning. I think it's just been equal or I'm losing the entire time. And so that's what happens. The rigmarole, bro. So he steps up. You want to keep the queens on the board now, do you? What if I attack here? We let this happen and we go into a queen endgame? That locks your pawn. Let's just go for this. I would be okay with a trade occurring, actually, because I think his knight, believe it or not, is better. Like if his knight gets to this square and I'm not able to trade it off, I'm actually in a little bit of trouble. So if I can just kill the knight, the only benefit is if he pushes this. But the only time that my dark square bishop is a good bishop is if I get behind the pawns. And that is just looking like an impossible challenge. I can't do it over here. I can't do it here. I can't do it here. So yeah. don't want to go... We're going over here. If this pawn push comes, we jump forward. If he trades, I take. And then him bringing the knight might be hard because I do cover a lot of these squares. My bishop sucks, but I don't hate him. Please jump in like this. Who is even winning this endgame? I'm pretty sure it's just a draw, if anything. What is his idea? Here. Here, here, here. He jumps in. I take. Let's just go for it. King and pawn endgame. How good is your king and pawn endgame skills, bro? Because I got my bishop, bro. Your knight, I'm killing it. And sort of ruining your pawn. Yeah, ruining your pawn structures. You could, however you take, you are weakening something in the position. So I don't know if he really wants to do that. He could step in. But by golly. If he chooses to do so, I step forward. Now would you look at that? We do this. If he takes, I take. He has no great way of attacking it. I push, I push. I'm defending. And I'm ready to push and sneak behind. So what we're going to do is have a little Mexican standoff with the queens looking at each other right now. The kings touching. Is this my time to shine? I step forward. This is the square. This is the square I want my queen to be on. Just like he wanted his queen there. All right, maybe I shouldn't demonstrate this. You jump in. I hit you with a check first. Oh. Okay. Now I kind of like the idea. We're stepping forward. If this does happen, we trade it off. We still also do have this check. Where, unfortunately, I don't think anybody is winning. He could try and do something like this. But I'm still kind of okay with making that my plan. Although his king is here, so I don't think that it's actually going to work out in my favor. I also have this pawn pushing idea. Like boom, boom, boom. Take, take. And then all of a sudden. Check. Take another step closer. We step in. Here, here, here. Launch. He can just push. I launch. We're giving this check. Let's shuffle around a bit. I'm lower on the clock. Ooh, maybe that was kind of a committal move. He could probably just push here on this light square. And then it's a little bit tricky. A little bit tricky to make a pawn break. So yeah, he can just play this. Come on, bro. Let's trade something off. Let's not make this a draw. This is absolutely a drawn position. But with 1 minute and 2.5 on the clock, actually perfect play. Ooh. Ooh. He wants to get in. Check. Here. Sorry, that was my alarm. Bro, I do not want to run away. Check here. And what am I doing? Stepping here? I don't have any checks. I don't have anything. I can't take... He launches in. Boom, boom. 35 seconds. What do I do here? Do I slide back and just play uber defense here? I can defend like this. Sliding over here. This. 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 I mean, I'm pretty much going to have to do this, but we don't like this. So we're sliding over with the queen. 23 seconds. What am I doing? What in tarnation am I doing? This is my next immediate idea. We're stepping the king over. Looking like he's also got this. So if I was to step here, he's got... We step in like this. We are defending both pawns. He's got this check. But now the queens don't see each other, so it's less scary. I will still have to trade this off. I step this way. I have to, right? I can push this pawn. You can push this pawn. I'll just take, allow it. He takes here, attacking my bishop. Oh boy, I hit him with a check. I slide back. Oh boy, it's gonna get complicated in this endgame. It is about to get balls to the wall complicated. Our boy's got 1 minute. I got 19 seconds. Ah! Let's go. Come on, bro. Okay, we just take. Not even gonna think about it. He does have this now. He does have this. I can push forward. I have this. Excuse me, my friend. You have the potential to make a passed pawn. I have a passed pawn. Oh boy. Push. Push. Here, 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 here. Bro, I pushed my passed pawn. Whoa, why did I take so long thinking about that? That was obviously the move that needed to be played for me. He can go here, but I take. The check is defended. I will take that. He goes here. You're going to have a hard time stopping my little pawn, bro. We step forward. We super activate this. I'm literally going to run in on these light squares. I'm coming over here, bro. I am not afraid. I am afraid, but I'm going to pretend like I'm not. If he takes, he loses, I believe. If he goes back, I step here. He can push and go for the potential. He can make a pass pawn over here. And if my king is all the way up here, I'm not really going to stop it, but I think that I'm just winning. My stuff is pretty advanced. Here, here, here. Here, here. I'm going for this. Take, take. Take, take. Here. What am I doing? I was supposed to do that. Here, here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here. That's a wrap. Queen is coming. That's with check. And I'm going to be honest with you. In this position, my straight up strategy, probably here, check. He comes back up. And then I mop up these pawns with check. No funny business. We get rid of the pawns. And we're good to go. Now, that was a lot of fun to play. Right here, this pawn break. You got the potential to make a passed pawn. You got a 2-on-1. I got a defended passed pawn supported by my queen. So, absolutely, that was a blunder. Once he allowed that into the decision, jumping in with the knight and letting me vanquish that knight to yet again ruin your pawn structure in some sort of way was not the move. Like, after this, he potentially just locks us down and nullifies my bishop, but you jump back and you like figure out how to defend this square with your knight. That's what he needed to do, because this pawn is more scarier than these two pawns. So either way, we are going to check how accurate that actually was. Let's check with the computer. That was absolutely a terrific game. Thank you so much for watching, and we're gonna check with the computer, guess the analysis. I think that I played. Let's run through it real quick. I think, by golly, 95%. 95%. That's my guess. Let's go to the analysis together. And here we are in the analysis. And that game was a doozy. And if we take a look at this graph, before we even go down there, I think that generally the way that I win chess is, bro, I just play it chill and even, and I don't go for anything crazy, and I keep it simple, and I wait until the end game. And because I play a lot of bullet with like 1 second increment, that I'm just better in end games against people, and they blunder, and I'm able to okay, let's be honest here. I don't find it every time, but I find that the vast majority of the games that I win are just like equal the whole entire game. 20 minutes into the game, once we get down to like 1 minute each, they blunder and I find it, or something of the sort like that happens. And I'm not sure, is that like how you're supposed to play chess and get better at chess? I want to learn how to attack and sacrifice, okay? But I win a lot of games just by playing chill, and that is an excellent example. Like, there was really no opportunity for me to get an advantage until the end game. And so all I did during the opening and the middle game was kind of screw things up. And so if we look at this graph, let me scroll this thing over it real quick. This is the opening. Completely even. We go into the middle game. Completely even. It fluctuates tiny. Then I even had a -1. I had a -2 right here. But he needed to find the correct continuation, which actually wasn't hard to find. He didn't find it, and then that advantage slips away. It goes back to equality. And then all the way here, when we both had less than 30 seconds, is when he makes the blunder, and I finally get an advantage. I threw it back to equal, but whatever. I played 90% accurate. Now, I made a blunder, and I made a mistake, and I made an inaccuracy all here in the endgame. Okay, so inaccuracies, my mistake is here. That mistake does not matter. Look at that graph. That does not matter. This blunder very much did matter, but he didn't see it, so it went right back down. So that is what this symbol is. Like, I threw it to equality, he didn't see it, and it went back right to where it was. And so, without further ado, let's just hop on into this. And so, we have this position. I'm not even sure what you call this one. Maybe I should pull the thingy up to the side. Whatever it is, what it is. We get in here. It's not the Carl Khan, but it is my sort of Carl Khan structure, all right? I understand it. So, we're about to put a lot of pawns on light squares. So, as you saw in the game, I had literally like every pawn on light squares. So we do just that. Boom. We have a lot of pawns on light squares. Then, I spoke so highly of this pawn break. Wasn't that great. He just simply trades, and I play the best move. What we're worried about here is this check. And then what we're worried about furthermore is this check coming with attacking this pawn and this pawn. Getting rid of this knight gets rid of a lot of stuff that's important, and this knight is about to jump in. So now I let the computer think about it for too long, and I look stupid. But this move made a lot of sense. It just shuts the queen out. The queen's got to step back. Then we capture back. I captured with the rook because this seems like what we're going to be doing here. Like boom, boom, and then we trade here, and then it's defending here. I don't think that this pawn is going to be the one that needs to be supported. I think this one is. Really, I think this one's going to die, and this one will replace it, and that's where it's going to be defended. So sometimes it didn't really all that matter that much. Now, this is about the moment where I spoke and I mentioned, I have the only dark square bishop on the board. My dark square bishop literally did nothing for the entirety of the game. Did nothing other than like make one wiggling around move and then die for a knight. And so early in the game, I was like, I'm not going to sacrifice my bishop for the knight. And then by the end game, I was dying to have this same exact situation so I could kill the knight. So we step back. It's not a terrible move, but it is a terrible move because I was supposed to step over here. Either way, if you see in the top corner, it's completely equal. He trades, I step forward. I'm supposed to break in the middle, but this is one of my weaknesses. I don't break in the middle. I don't do it. I'm supposed to push pawns, and I always am moving pieces. And so there's always a pawn break that you need to do. This one makes sense because it's like boom, 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 boom. These are open. It's looking real even. If anything, it's looking real good for me after that. Instead of doing that, I scoot the queen over, and then I pushed a pawn. Still totally equal. So all these moves, it's not like they're blunders. Like, even though that this is an inaccuracy, it's still equal, so it doesn't even matter. Then we lock it down. Essentially, I have literally every single pawn on light squares other than this one, and I have a dark square bishop, which makes me think, oh, my dark square bishop's so good, but that is only good in an open position, and this is anything but an open position. This is literally just about as closed of a position as it gets, and potentially this could have happened where his pawn arrives here, and it is like closed like a jail cell. And so we all know what happened here. This was an inaccuracy, but it was a mouse slip. So if we check, this is the best move. Did I play it? No, but did I try and play it? Yes. Now, I spoke about bringing my queen out here to do some harassment. This actually, now that I'm looking at it, makes a lot of sense because it forks these pawns. So you'd have to do this. Yeah, makes a lot of sense why I should have done that. Instead, I scooted this over. I took the time, so I do have a little bit of a disadvantage. I'm down 1. I'm supposed to get active with the queen. If I wasn't going to get active with queen, then going here made a lot more sense. So the bishop at least defended me. Here I'm undefended. So I scoot the rook over to defend the queen. But if I was going to leave my queen back here, I could have just gone here, and it kind of served the same purpose. What we're doing is looking at the back rank with ideas of going in. None of that happened. We trade. Then this is the moment. This is our opponent's biggest moment in the game, in my opinion. He could have locked his bishop on my side of the board. The same thing that I was doing here with the queen, where it was like, all right, take me on my terms. He could have done the same thing with the rook. And I'm going to let you know, if he put the rook here, then we have a very different situation because my king is guarded to this rook. My other rook is guarded to this rook. I can't really very well move, or he's got this check to win my queen. And it just gets real spicy real quick. And his knight can get in quite easily. I would have to trade off, but then even then I'm not sure it's great because it would just open up more squares. If he played this move, I think he would have won the game. Instead, he traded everything off and it went straight back to equality. And one more thing, like if he goes here and I take, then he hits me with a check with a passed pawn. I have to step over. This is super weak. My king is what's blockading the pawn, so that's never what you want to do because definitely not with a lot of pieces. If it's just pawns, it's all right. But okay, so if we look at the example, +2 here. He didn't do any of the right stuff. Didn't do any of the right stuff. Check. I step over. I come back, defend the pawn. I slide in here. I don't know if this move made any sense, but we slide back to the best. It's equal. It's completely equal. He's got 4 minutes. I've got 2 minutes. Now, same idea. Now, it's like, all right, well, if you're going to take me, you're going to give me this pass pawn, and my king is pretty close to figuring some good stuff out with that. So I scoot my king to the middle. I don't hate it. I scoot in with a check. I'm supposed to take, but I know that if I take, it's a draw. Like, if I do take here, I know the game is going to end in a draw because kind of hard to screw this up. Even if he jumps in and I take and he ruins his pawn structure, this entire side of the board, like all of this, is not moving. The kings are just going to run over here, and then straight up, it's going to trade off just equally over here or get locked over here. And so I knew if I traded here with my 1 minute on the clock, I took 1 second to decide, no, I don't want to draw. Move your knight somewhere so I can get into the position, take it, whatever. None of it happens. So here, I was worried about his queen arriving here to attack this pawn. I can simply push a pawn and take that square away. And the queen can't get in. The queen's on this light diagonal. So that move would have made a lot more sense. Defend this, get the idea of this. Even if he pushes in like this, then I come over and support it and get my queen over here doing more damage than yours. Okay, made a lot of sense. But we slide over. This was my idea. It still works. But I'm slightly losing again. But only if he plays all the best moves. And he's not going to do it because nobody ever does. Not in endgames like this. And here, it's still equal. But he gave me the passed pawn. And I, straight up with you, did not even realize it. I did not even realize it. I was worried about his 2 and this weak and his queen coming in. So I thought the knight can check me here. If I step here, I'm defending this. I'm 1 step closer to having something going on here. I don't even think I realized I had a passed pawn until my next move. Now I realize I have a passed pawn. What he was supposed to do is there's really 2 different ways. But either way, he can jump here, then go here. Or he can jump here, get attacked, and then go here and defend it and go like this. And so there's probably even another way. You could probably go this way, and then this way. Yeah, so there's 3 different ways that would work to get his knight on any one of these 3 squares. Any one of them works, whatever. He jumps in, and I kill that knight. And you do not want to trade the knight because the knight's job was to get in front of this pawn. Because I'm going to let you know this king is not doing it. And this queen is having a real hard time getting behind. So he has to take back, and then I push. He goes back with the queen. I push. My pawn is now 1 square away. Active with the queen. I'm eyeing this. I'm protecting this. And now the best way to win was to push this because if he takes, I can take this with check. If he steps here, I can just harass him, and I got that pawn, so I'm chilling. But it opened up the position. He's got ideas. He's got ideas. And so bringing the king was simpler. He could have locked it down like this, and then it would have been hard for me to get in. Yes. Did I see that? No. But I could give him a check. If he steps over, I hit him with this, and it's another check. Then he wins the pawn, then I trade the queens. I'm going to win. So, did I see that? No, I did not. Absolutely, I did not. We step in. Now, my queen is undefended. What would defend my queen quite wonderfully? Another queen. So they're seeing each other. Obviously, that's the best move. But, unfortunately, I'm not that good at chess. I had 13 seconds. So, I step forward. I think, okay, this is a passed pawn. It's defended. I want my king to come this way and support it like that. That was the whole idea. Now, it went from mate in 15 to still -6 for our opponent. So that's a mistake, but it does not matter because I'm going to win one way or another. So, yet again, now I can do it forcefully. I don't know what made me think that this pawn was blockaded, or like, I don't know what I thought here. All I thought was, I want my king here to red carpet technique is what I wanted. And I wasn't accepting it any other way. I got my king here. We got the red carpet. My pawn is going to promote. I don't know why I think that every pawn needs to be promoted like that. Whatever. Sometimes it really just is that easy, bro. Like, I don't have to come in here and trade things. So just push. Just push. I don't know how I didn't see it. Whatever. I can also deep freeze these guys with one pawn. So he has two pawns that can create a passer, but I can just launch forward, and you can't really push this, or I just take, and then it's kind of equal, essentially. Either way, in this position, our opponent ran out of time, or he resigned. He did resign, but it's over. What I'm going to do is check. Wherever you go, I'm taking this. Wherever you go, I'm taking this. Then I'm bringing my king or my queen, and I'm taking these. I'm taking this. I'm just kidding. I would probably just make a new queen or checkmate with these guys, or I'd still make the game, and it would end, and you guys would have never saw it because I wouldn't post that. So if you made it this far, thank you so much. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, let me know how you like it. Leave it in the comments. If you are a returning viewer, you guys are literally the best. Thank you so much. That was a good game. I'm happy with that one. Sometimes I record a game and I'm like, that sucked, and maybe I was tired and my personality wasn't that great. This one, I feel quite strongly about. So this is one of my favorite videos so far. Not the game of chess, but the video, my personality with it. So either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. And today, it's the April 12th. This probably won't even post until like April 20th or something. So thank you so much. Get out of here. I love you.